Hello, and thank you for joining us for an opportunity to walk through the new Clinical Intensive Evaluation Form process. Thank you very much for your willingness to assist our students as a clinical instructor, and now we'll walk through how this new process is going to work. First, you will receive an email that has a link to the forms to complete for each of the students who you worked with in that specific cohort. So as you can see, here is the clinical instructor, your name is listed, the cohort number and the facility that you were at, as well as the student, any preceptor that they may have been working with. So when you receive the email with your students, you'll just click on the link and you can do several things with this. First of all, you can double click, which I just did, and it popped up on this other screen. I'll show you that. But you can also right click and select Open Hyperlink, or you can cut and paste the link into a browser, whatever you prefer. To me, it's just quick. Do the double click and then you pop up the form. Once you've got the form, you can see I'm doing the clinical instructor verification of this student's CASEL 2. The form will auto-populate with your name as the clinical instructor, the student's name, as well as the clinical site that they were at. You're just going to go ahead and move on to next. And then from here, starting at person-centric care and coordination, you will look over the examples of minimally safe practice, and then from there, determine the rating for the student. Was the student competent, minimally competent, or do they not meet competency? If you are to select competent or minimally competent, nothing happens, it will just accept that response. However, if you select does not meet competency, you will need to put in the reasoning of why the student didn't meet the competency. So for the purposes of this, to just move through it quickly, I'm just going to put enter reasoning. So why did you rate the student does not meet competency? And you'll just continue through each of the sections. Again, next we're going into therapeutic presence and communication, and the student was minimally competent. I'm going to purposely skip one of these questions for just a moment. So let's say if one had popped up here, you missed it. Each of these are a required response. So if you were to hit next, as you're going to see up here at the top, you're going to get a notification. You have a field that is missing a value in evidence-based practice. So then you can go in there, but you'll also see here the little red box indicating that you have a missing or required response. So then you have the opportunity to do that, and then now it will let you move on to the next section. So we'll just kind of move through these really quick. Once you have filled out your responses for each of the overall competency areas or sections, then you're going to move into the visits. So for your site visits, as you can see right here, this is going to populate the initial 2 that need to be completed, or if in some of the other rotations they only have 1 visit, you'll see just the 1 visit pop up. But the minimum number of required visits will automatically pop up. And then I want to just show you this function. Let's say you ended up doing more than 2 visits, and if you change that number to 3, and you can go up to 6, 6 is going to be the maximum number of visits that you can enter, but as you see, then that opens up for you to do all of the visits as well. So for the purposes of this, we're going to move that back to just 2 visits. We only have to fill out 2 of them right now. All right, again, really quick, you'll see now we're down to just the 2 visits, and it'll move on. So next, we're going to click on the calendar. And I did the visit 1 happened on the 11th at 3:15 p.m. The preceptor was Polly, and she's on MedSurg. Now in this section, you're going to enter the feedback that you got from the preceptor in that meeting, in that coaching visit. Then I'm going to move on to number 2. Again, just click your calendar. This one took place today at 5 p.m. Again, I met with Polly. We're going over feedback from the second visit. And everything that we talked about or discussed about the student, made sure that we put that in there. All right, then we're going to move into the clinical extension. Was a clinical extension required? If you were to answer no, it just accepts that question. Again, if you do answer yes, you need to identify the action plan. So you're going to write out the student action plan, identified along with the coach, so that you can move through the reasoning of why there was an extension, and are you recommending the student for progression, yes or no? I am. And then I just need to enter my name. Finally, you submit the form, and that is complete. And I just want to really quickly bring up the evaluation form instructions so I can just show you this. We'll walk you through all the steps of the process and everything that we've gone through, so feel free to refer back to this video or to this instruction form. So I give you the different ways you can access into the hyperlink, just walking through what you should expect to see on the form and walking through each of the instructions, and every area where you have a pop-out. If you select something, it's going to tell you what will need to be entered to satisfy that, how you can, with the up and down arrows, add additional site visits, how to utilize the calendar to select that date. You can actually key in the date here as well, but a lot of times it's quicker, easier to just utilize that calendar. Make sure that you're just utilizing the drop downs to select your time and then whether this is an AM or PM visit. You're going to enter the first and last name of the preceptor or coach that you spoke with on visit 1, the unit, and then entering that in that feedback. So just kind of walks you through the entire process. Once you hit submit, that is complete. Thank you so much for this opportunity to share the information on the new evaluation process, and we appreciate your knowledge, skills, and experience in assisting and supporting our students in the pre-licensure program. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.